Welcome to Liftoff, everybody. We are kicking off a new season in a new location, the world. We're in New York City to start off this season in a very fun and exciting way. So if you're ready, I'm ready, and let's get started. Our first expert is Joe Mendeck, a successful business executive and serial networker turned entrepreneur who built Noladex, the first platform that lets connectors actually get paid for the relationships they nurture. He's got a new book, Connectors Get Paid, and it is changing the way we all think about networking. Hey, Joe, Noladex went from 7 people in a diner to over 500 members just like that. With research showing that referrals account for nearly 65% of new B2B business, what gave you the confidence that turning connections into revenue could scale?
I always knew referrals, like, if I owned a marketing company for 20 years, I always knew referrals were, like, the best way I got business, and I became a networker, right? I was introduced to, like, a B&I group back when I was, like, 25. So I knew, yes, referrals were huge for business. I didn't know the stats on it, but then you start looking at the stats. 85% of buyers want a referral before they go, right? You're not gonna build your kitchen without asking your neighbors who they use, right? You want someone that you could trust. So yeah, I found out the stats kind of after I did it, but I just was, always networking, and I sold my company and people are still asking me for stuff. And I sent over like $100,000 deal to somebody and I was like, "Hey, guys, how about I send you some more business and you pay me?" And they were like, "We'll give you 15% of that deal." And they gave me $15,000. I was like, "Wait a second." All right. And then I got, about a dozen agencies that I knew and people, and we started off referring business, and I'd send them business and they were paying me all year. So at the end of the year, I made like 85 grand. They made like $850,000 in business. And the clients, these old clients that I had, were happy that I gave them a good person. And that's when it was like, wait, this is something different, right? Connectors like me and you and people that have been connecting, we got to start getting paid because we're the ones driving all this networking, right? Networking doesn't work if there's not people that are sending referrals to people. And those people are always looking to get that reciprocation. And it doesn't happen all the time, right? I was always the guy giving referrals, but I wasn't getting the ones back I kind of wanted. So now I don't care. I'll give you 20 referrals. If you're paying me every time, I'm going to keep that spigot going, that flowing referrals to you because I know I'm at least getting paid for giving you referrals, right? Yeah, so I just kind of, and then just kind of blew up, and everyone else was like, "Yeah, I want to get paid too," and that's why I think we've grown so much, and people are responding to this because they're like, "Hey, yeah, I'd like to get paid. I've been doing this for so long. I've given millions of dollars of referrals. I love a little bit for the effort."
Studies show that companies with structured referral programs can see up to 70% higher conversion rates than other channels. I know that's true for a fact. Noladex treat members as partners and share in the revenue. Talk about how that approach has changed the way that communities think about monetizing networking today.
So they're gonna realize that they could do it themselves, right? Like, I built the platform, right? We built Noladex. So if you wanna start your own network and you've been a good networker and you already have a network, like, the software's now built. I wish I had the software 5 years ago when I started this because it takes care of all the back end. So anyone that wants to start their own community, has a community, wants to start their own business, right? This is a business, right? We have 560 people that pay $100 a month. Like, that's good business. That's good recurring revenue, plus the deal flow that comes in. That doesn't include the deal flow, right? So if you're out there and you're like, you've been a great salesperson all your life, a great networker all your life, you're like, I always want to start my own business. Look, for $129 a month, which is all the software is, you could start your business. So for a $1,500 investment over the course of a year, you don't have to put it up front. Like, you're starting a business and it takes care of all the back end, right? Because the hard part of business is all that back end stuff, right? Invoicing, collecting dues, like, system does it all. Tracking does it all. You just have to go out and build the network. You have to build the people, bring the people you know in. So for people that are like, and that's why I wrote the book. Be like, I built this network of 560 and growing, will be probably 800 by the end of the year. I built it. You could build it too, and just, the software's there to do it.
Joe, we love what you're doing so much. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to test Noladex out with our own Liftoff community and see exactly firsthand how this can help us grow too. All right, next we're talking about something every single one of us needs: better sleep. Meet Paul Longman, CEO and founder of iSense, the revolutionary mattress company he launched in 2017. With over 1.2 million sleep sessions tracked and a 180-night comfort guarantee, you heard that right, 6 months, iSense is redefining the way that we sleep through science, integrity, and innovation. I'm so excited to have you on the show because I have so many questions. Let's start off with this one. You started iSense in 2017, and you said the industry is broken. Tell me what you actually thought about the industry was broken and how you fixed it.
There's some amazing products out there, some amazing brands. So there's really a lot of great choices for customers to choose from. I think the problem is more the buying process itself, and that is, if we think about it, the experience of sleeping and the experience of buying a mattress is so foreign to one another. If you come into a retail store, you've spent the day maybe on your feet, you might have kids with you, you're not dressed for sleep, it's daytime, the sun's up. Everything about going into a mattress store to purchase a mattress is foreign to how you would use it in a bedroom. And more importantly, when we sleep, our bodies go into a complete state of relaxation, and of course our muscles relax to the point where the only support system is the mattress. Well, that's quite counterintuitive to when you're walking through a mattress store, sitting on each mattress, trying to do the Goldilocks test and see which one's right for you. So, whilst there might be some great products, the ability to choose the right product in a moment in time when you're on your feet in complete foreign environment is really the challenge that we wanted to set out to fix.
Oh my God, you are so right. You can try on a new pair of shoes in a store, but you can't really try out a mattress. You're dressed, it's the daytime. This 180-night trial, let's talk about that. Why so long?
We predominantly sell our product online only, which is a really difficult experience for a customer because typically you want to try, feel, and touch the product. But we know that the experience is in the home. And because we put 20 mattresses into one bed, with the touch of a button, you can change the comfort level, the support level. We know that we can give people an opportunity to find the right comfort for them. But if in case it's not the right choice, then we want to make sure that they have a way to back out of that purchase. So we ask they try it for 45 nights, just so their body can adjust. But we give them up to 180 nights to decide whether they made a good choice. Unfortunately, we get very few returns. So, obviously finding the right level of comfort is something our mattress can do. One of the things we've got 2.5 million nights of sleep recorded from the sleep sensors and the biometrics that are in the mattress. And that tells us a lot about how people use the product. So if you compare the ability to pick a mattress in a store, and of course, if there's two people shopping for the mattress, it's quite common that one's over one side of the store and the other's over that side going, I like this one and I like this one. And of course, the choice then is what's the best compromise for your comfort. With an iSense, you don't have to compromise because you can make the adjustments on either side of the bed to suit your own personal needs. But what we do learn from the data is that it takes about 30 nights that we can see and record people making minor adjustments to their comfort, making little iterations until they see their sleep score improving and then become comfortable with the product. And about 30 nights, we see that any more adjustments tends to taper off.
Sleep is so essential for our health, yet so many of us neglect it. And what you've built goes beyond their mattress. People can adjust their mattress, track their sleep scores. Like, how did you even come up with the realization that we needed that?
I think there was a lot of sleep trackers around, wearables that you can wear your watch to bed. You can wear the Aura Ring. There's lots of different ways to record sleep. The problem with those devices is they tell you how you're sleeping, but they don't offer any solution. So what we wanted to do is firstly avoid having to wear something to bed in order to record sleep. So we embedded the sensors into the mattress. And secondly, we wanted a product that when you found that you weren't getting the optimal sleep, that you had ways and means by which to adjust the product. Because if you can't make any adjustments, what's the point of measuring? If we measure we have a step counter and we want to measure steps and say, I want to walk 10,000 steps a day. Well, you can look at your measurement and say, look, I'm at 8,000. I'm going to go for a walk and get my 10,000 steps, and you can do something actively. Problem with measuring sleep is if you don't know what to do, then it's torture. You're getting told that maybe you're not sleeping well, but you really don't have means by which to correct it. So, building products, everything we do, everything in our store, everything we provide has, whether it's changing temperature in the bed through our heating and cooling system, whether it's adjusting to be able to elevate the bed or the feet. Maybe you've got circulation problems or lower back problems where you can use the adjustable foundation to make adjustments, or whether it's essentially iSense. Every mattress, regardless, has two key components. It has support, it has comfort. And I always ask the question: do you go to bed with pain and wake up without, or do you go to bed without pain and wake up with pain? And if you do, you might want to look at your mattress and improve the quality of your sleep.
That is amazing. Everybody, we need to go take a break so we can catch a nap on one of these new mattresses, but we'll be right back. I'm so excited to introduce our next expert, Kaja Cicola. Kaja is an accomplished model and an actress who is now a practicing psychologist and outspoken advocate for resilience and healing. At a time when nearly 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. lives with a mental health condition, her perspective couldn't be more important. Kaja, you've lived through multiple worlds, modeling, acting, and psychology. Studies show that 62% of professionals struggle to balance their personal identity with their career expectations. How have you found your anchor across such different stages of your journey?
I feel like one of the writers, I forgot her name, said that we live many lives, and I figure out that my journey is to experience many different things and kind of live many different lives. And the first part was modeling, acting, then psychology. Then I became a mother. I worked for TV, and now I'm a writer. And in each of these parts, in each of these professions, I just find a grain of myself. So I guess the collective of it all helped me to understand who I am.
Right now, I think it's about 77% of Americans, was the latest stat that I saw, that say they regularly experience stress-related symptoms. As a psychologist, can you tell us one daily practice that we could all build into our lives to build resilience when life feels overwhelming?
It's very important to understand that it's all about body and soul. So treat your body as a temple, and then your soul will grow, and then you can be stronger. Also, it's just simple things like really taking care of yourself. Remembering that your body is your temple. Be in the nature. In New York, it's difficult, but try to be in the nature. Try to connect to the world. So just very, I guess, like very grounding experiences are, in my perspective, what helps.
This is so fascinating. And research shows that leaders who share personal struggles in a healthy way are 30% more likely to build trust with their teams. You've been open about your own story on how to empower others. How do you balance vulnerability with protecting your own peace? And do you have any advice for all of us on how to do the same?
I don't think you can be vulnerable if you don't have inner strength. So first, before you will start to share with others, your stories and your struggles, you have to build your own strength. Because if you don't have it, it's going to be like sandcastle. You're going to share it, and then it's going to just drop down.
Yeah.
So psychotherapy is a great start, great example of how you can build your inner strength. But also, again, it's going to sound like a very simple example, but reading a lot of books, learning from the knowledge of the people before us, being around the culture, and so like this, your inner self can grow, and like this, you can learn from from people before us, by art, by books, by literature. And then you can build your strength and do psychotherapy and do meditation, be spiritual. These are the things that everyone is repeating, but this is really what works, in my opinion.
Kaja, thank you so much. Your story is inspirational, and we'll keep watching your progress. I'm so excited to introduce our next expert, Maribel Lieberman, the founder of Maribel, New York. From selling sugar candies as an 8-year-old in Honduras to opening her first shop in Soho, Maribel has turned chocolate into an art form. Her creations now span Brooklyn, Kyoto, and beyond, and every piece tells a story. We're here to see it firsthand. Take a look. Welcome to Liftoff, Maribel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jeannie.
It is so wonderful having you on the show, and I have so many questions for you. But let's start with your early days. You've always been inspired by creativity, is that correct?
Yeah, well, you know, you never know you have the creativity in you until you do things. And now think of me when I was a child and what I was doing, what I was, what have led me to be where I am today. And it's like, you know, when you're a child, you really know what you like, but you know, once you start getting into society, going to school, you forget that what you like. And I've been lucky enough to remember and to get to find my passion. And from that little candy business that I had, I found out that I am an entrepreneur. I'm super independent, and I love creation.
So you grew up in Honduras.
Yes.
Your nanny made candies and helped her.
I guess you read.
I read all about you. And then you moved to New York. How did you get enough courage to decide to start your own shop?
You know, I didn't really write a business plan that I wanted to do this. I wanted to do more like a gourmet shop because I love introducing different ingredients from different cultures. And I wanted to, you know, to tell the story of every ingredient. Unfortunately, that dream was too big, needed a lot of money, and I didn't have that. I decided to start with chocolate, tell the story about chocolate. So I decided to partner with my friend Selima, who is an eyeglass designer, and we called a store called Lunette et Chocolat. So we had half of the meat of the chocolate, and the other half was Lunette's glasses.
Yeah. People can come into your store and they can browse. They can come into your cafe where we are right now, and they can enjoy a cup of hot chocolate or
high tea, yeah.
And other bites of chocolate.
Yes, yeah.
But you also work with a lot of corporations too.
Yes, you know, because you know, when all these designs present, you know, I can tell a story behind the design, and other corporations want to tell the story too through chocolate. So that's how we created, you know, the customization for different companies, and it's an amazing part of the business.
Now, as a small business, when COVID hit, I'm sure it was pretty challenging from a distribution standpoint, and now we're dealing with tariffs and other challenges around shipping. How are you managing through all of that?
You know, I mean, I went through three tragedies. First, September 11, I had just opened my business in October 2000 and 2001. So that was horrible. Yeah. Then it came the crash of the market in 2008 as another horrible. And then it came COVID. You know, by the time COVID came, I was graduated from how to handle all the problems here. So today with the tariffs, you know, it's okay, we can't really go against the wave. We have to go with the flow and to see how we're going to survive. And it's fine. Everything has a solution. You just need to find that you should never give up.
I'm having such a great conversation with you that I don't want it to end. So I want to talk about your book. I understand you just wrote a book.
Yes, I launched the book in September 2024. I did it with the collaboration of Risolis, you know, the publication from Italy. I took 5 countries, Honduras, of course, since I was born there, and then America, I live here, Spain, Italy, and France. So all these different recipes from different parts of the world, and then all this photo shoot was done on location too. I figure,
this
you
is-
know, since I already have my packaging, you know, people will recognize them more. So, you know, so the recipes are very simple to make. I didn't want to make something complicated with this demi-glaze, you know. I wanted something that fresh ingredients, mix them and eat them. You know, it's a very, very simple.
And it's a
And I
great,
think
great gift idea.
yeah,
too. This is
beautiful. Yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
For the holidays.
Thank you.
This is fantastic. And
Thank
can
you.
people get it online? And
They can get it online. We sell it here. Also, Amazon sells it. Rizzoli sells it.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Well, everybody needs to look out for this book.
yeah. Thank you.
And now it's time for the Liftoff takeaway. The economy is throwing all of us curveballs right now. Prices are higher and it feels like money doesn't stretch as far, but there are smart ways to protect your wallet. So I'm here to share them with you. First, set up automatic savings. Even a little adds up. We tell this to our kids all the time, and now our grandbaby. Second, shop with intention. If you need something, pause and ask yourself, do I really need this and do I need it right now? But third, and this is one of my favorites, make sure you're rewarded for the shopping you already do on a daily basis. A few months ago, I started consulting with a company called Rakuten, and I realized how much people enjoy their cash back. I'm a huge fan of Rakuten, not just because I've been working with them, but because you sign up for free, shop at the same stores you normally do, and you actually get cash back on top of your own purchases. Last quarter alone, I got a big fat check for $300 just by living life, traveling, dining out, going to concerts, and buying baby clothes for my little grandbaby. Small steps like these give you breathing room, even when the economy feels unpredictable. I've got great news to share with all of you listeners and viewers. Thank you so much for your support, because Executive Outlook magazine has just named me one of the admired women leaders making an impact in 2025. To me, this just isn't recognition. It is proof that my AIR concept, authenticity, inspiration, and relatability, actually drives change. I am so grateful to the incredible leaders, brands, and audiences I work with every day. And thank you to the magazine. This fuels me to keep the doors open and make sure Liftoff continues to create lasting impact. Phew. We covered business growth, better sleep, resilience, and super sweet tasting success, literally. And that's what Liftoff is all about. Fresh ideas you can actually use. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Don't forget to follow us at Liftoff Show on your favorite social media channel, and I'll see you next time.
The proceeding was sponsored by Liftoff Enterprises, LLC.